touch my body tender. It's my knees. Makes me weak. I don't know the lyrics at all. I ain't gonna play it though on the stream and get copyrighted. I think I'm gonna add it to my playlist if I can just. It is called Back to Friends. Reorganize that later. Mute my phone. I want to see what the lyrics say. Because the feeling makes me weak. Oh, kick off the covers. I see the ceiling while you're looking down at me. And then it goes to the chorus. Nice. Alright, we're live now. Waiting for it to pop up on the laptop over here so that I can pull up the stream and see y'all's comments. Because it doesn't always show me. People don't believe me when I say that. They just leave the stream. I'm dead serious. I don't see y'all's comments sometimes. I really don't. But this ain't really the game for me to be like going back and forth with like the viewers. Unfortunately. I can. It's not always. I don't hate you, you know. Like if I remember you and you were a dick last time you were here, I'm probably not gonna be nice. Just saying. How do I sound? How do I sound? Alright. It's pretty good. I mean, I had the mic a little above my ear. Maybe if I'm right here, is it going to sound good? It was nice for a second, then it sounded kind of... Like with the mic being right next to my mouth, it sounded kind of crazy. It sounded like I was eating my mic. But if I have it right here, it might be better. That sounds a little bit better. That inception I'll just have to deal with though might have been really annoying. It says 4-1. So does that mean it's going to be multiple parts to this trial? So far, when there have been multiple parts to the trial, it's only been 2 parts. I doubt this goes to 3 though, right? It won't do that. That'd be pretty crazy. Got water next to me. For sure, I got a Gatorade too, don't I? We still don't even know who actually did it yet. I think it was Bikini. Because remember my theory. I think that Iris is actually dead. This is Dahlia. That's what I think. I think Iris is the one who actually got executed to pay back Dahlia. Even though Dahlia, obviously Iris probably didn't want to do that. Dahlia got her killed. And this is Dahlia right here. Whether or not she actually wants to atone for what she did, I don't know. But good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? Morning, Pro. Mr. Nick, please tell me. What's gonna happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still ongoing, so I wasn't allowed into the Ender Temple. Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall? No, she's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the Inner Temple. She's required to be here in court. And how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. I knew it was Edgeworth. Edgeworth? This Iris doing... What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? Prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, or so I heard. Francisca Marcano, what are you up to? It's not Francisca doing it. I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? You know Phoenix. For someone who be catching stuff, you kind of slow sometimes, dog. It's obviously Godot. Who the fuck else would it be, buddy? What are you talking about? Who else would it be? But Godot. Godot? Francisca is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She's not there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. If everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. She's there with Bikini. Bikini's gonna kill her. Nah, bro. Bikini's gonna kill She can't kill Francisca. Francisca got the whip, bro. It's not gonna be Bikini. It's gonna be a switch up, and I'm just gonna be looking stupid later. Yeah. Thanks, Edward. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touche. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. The way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you passed your cold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. So who else would testify aside from Iris? I still don't have any answers. Still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. Circumstances around the murder of Elise Donham, Misty Faye. The impossible fly Larry claims to have seen. And that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Here we go. It's just a 1v1, bro. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Your Honor? What are you... Who, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I will be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. So the Canadian guy is his brother, okay. But I guess it's who Phoenix gave the cold to, but like, there's no way he did that, right? My poor brother, he looked a bit pale. Not to mention, sad that he couldn't be here. Here we go. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understand exactly what you said, at least up until the end anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. Coffee, the bitter darkness that lies in the bottom of this mug. So then you mean, forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Iris, why didn't you discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. I think Godot knows that Iris is. I was saying this last time. He knows that this is Dahlia, and that's why he's so hell bent on getting her. Because if he knew it wasn't Dahlia, he wouldn't be so persistent. I don't think, unless he's like a complete asshole. But we'll see. If he doesn't know this is a twin, then I think that'll help. I think that's what this is. We're gonna have to show him that this is a twin sister. But if he reacts as if he knows, then that'll reveal to us something. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something that you want to confess to? Yes. But first I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright, what is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Dolan? No, I'm not, Your Honor. I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard, where I desecrated it. What? Order in the court, order. Witness, are you saying that you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. What? 2 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Ha! Every one on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to a murder. Isn't that right, Trite? I go dodge. So this is the confession that we're conferring about, or they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Iris' testimony crumbled up and shoved into a pocket. We still have it, just not admitted to evidence. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? I was just covering for someone. Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the current tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but the main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of current channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. Oh, she's saying Maya did it. What the fuck? This is crazy. Huh? But they said that earlier, that it might be Maya who did something. Why would Godot go with this? Because I'm pretty sure he's Mia's old friend. So why would he even go with this? But I guess he don't really care. Notice how his beard is still black and his hair is gray, so he definitely dyed it. And keeping that in mind, since there's evidence of dyed hair, take a look at the profiles. Dahlia has red hair. Iris has black hair. Very easy for Dahlia to dye her hair, same color as her sister. Wouldn't be too complicated, right? Wake up and spell the coffee, right? She's naming Maya? Order in the court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer. I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous. Maya could never. The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected. I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. I'd like you to drink some water. And to like my own stream, because why not? The real murderer. I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. Mystic Maya was still stumbling. Mystic Elise moved into to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. Levi, what do you want, man? What do you want? Why can't I just have my door closed? What do you want? I don't have anything else to give you. Go. Go lay down. So it was in self-defense. Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. You know, and now that I think about it, with Iris, or if Dahlia was able to get out, as I'm thinking, what if that wasn't actually Mystic, or Misty? What if that was actually Morgan instead? And she was trying to kill Maya? Now that would be crazy. Of course she would be nice to Pearl if that was the case. Of course she would be. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. We moved the victim's body into the temple so that Maya would be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the essence of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. So I have to present her deceased sister, I guess. I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple. Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? It was in the inner temple training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell him the truth at the time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder. There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden? Well, Your Honor, I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya? I mean, Miss Faye? Yes. It was a truly frightening scene. Miss Maya was struck so hard in the head it looked like she was going to collapse. What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock. That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This is the same effect that Dahlia has when she's in the courtroom, by the way. Similar to, so I'm just only saying that because of the other cases that she was in. So it kind of feels like either it's just a looks thing because this is their twin, or who knows. This doesn't sound right. Don't believe this testimony for a minute. What happened after that? While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved into deliver a fatal strike, okay? And how did it not land? She moved into deliver a fatal strike. Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, huh? At least Odin tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. But we know that part's not true because if you look at the court record right here, she wouldn't have to reach into her robe. She wouldn't put down the staff at all because inside of the staff is this sword that we found. Me and Gumshoe, we're the only two who know that. But I don't know if it really changes anything because, you know, whatever she thinks she saw is whatever she thinks she saw. So this is just going to drag it out even longer, I think. Huh. Feel like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do you have a problem with Iris' testimony? Yeah. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now let's continue. This guy over here is bossing everybody around. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. That's not right, though. She threw her staff away. Mystic Elise is trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon. It's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. How do you know? Sister Iris? Let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff. Yes, that's what I saw. Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yes, it's odd, alright. Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger, I'm sure of this. Okay, what I'm imagining in my head is like she kind of had the staff, and when she kind of crouched back, it looked like she was reaching into her robe, but she was just taking the blade out of the staff, and then she threw the staff part down, and it looked like she dropped the staff. That's probably what happened. It's an assumption, but I don't really know. Alright, statement number 5. Mr. Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. And then, Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike. Okay. Witness, are you absolutely certain? Yes. But believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something, Maya Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. I see. This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together unless I find a contradiction in her testimony. Maya is going to be blamed for this. I only have to say, it was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. So you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Donham. Sister Iris, is that really what you saw? Yeah. Tisk, 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 trite. Your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions. The only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this. um, I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get right. It's called evidence. Now hurry up before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is it not waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be admissible as evidence, or inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, we need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this. There are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Two things, huh? Well, I know this third statement, or is it the fourth statement? Let me see. That must be it right there. I should also save, just in case. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Miss Donham throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me. But what you can do with a staff, all you can do with that staff is hit someone. Naturally, you won't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. I think what Godot is going to say is that, well, this only just proves what Iris saw to be true, because either way, it would mean that Elise is the one who bought the sword, and she's the one who had the sword inside, or sheathed inside this thing. So Elise was definitely there to kill somebody. Otherwise, why would she have that? She's the one who could have known that it was there. So she had to be the one who tried to use it. As you can see, it's a sword. Huh. If Elise Donham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. I read that wrong still. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? Here we go. That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy. Or, yeah, unwieldy? That's a new word to me. And thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well, anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. There is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright's prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright, I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Donham would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Because she's, Misty. That's all I really got is this, right? It'd be really weird if I had to present anything else. I'm not sure what they want me to do. Elise Donham would never have attacked Maya Fey. But how can you be sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Donham. Her real name was Misty Fey. Faye? No, not Mystic Misty Faye. So, who is this Misty Faye? Is she related to? Misty Faye is the master of the current channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Faye. Are you serious? Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Miss Stone actually the great Mystic Misty? There's no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her own daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years, perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in the world that is impossible, except for one little thing. Yes? What is this one little impossible thing? Now, what if... Because when you have twins, it's possible that, like, if you have twins, then those kids can have twins too. So perhaps, like I was saying earlier, Misty and Morgan are twins. Yes, what is this one little possible thing? You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first of my 8th cup of morning coffee. You're going to ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this beauty. And that's when there's no blood on the sword. That's why there's no blood on the sword. Because there's blood on this. Is that the dagger the witness testified to see? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you notice something else? Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. Ah, we didn't use the middle detector there. We used the middle detector in the other area. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on the dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Huh. Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning. This is not taking the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Didn't you just say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzer such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I ordered that the blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Dagger found behind a tree in the inner temple garden. The blood is being analyzed now. Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. What? Cute girls never lie, ever. Okay. See how he just said that? It's a reference to the case with Dahlia. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. The battle. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Totally, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone cabin. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. Why are you still calling her Elise? That was when her heartbreaking story. That doesn't make sense, because I remember in the autopsy it was saying that she had bruises all over her because she fell. She couldn't have died there if she fell. She had bruises before the stabbing. She hasn't explained that yet. I don't know I don't know if there were any bad feelings between the two of them. But it had been 17 years since Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. That seems reasonable. But yeah, you still need a motive. Even if she doesn't recognize her anymore, why is she there to kill Maya? Doesn't make any sense. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Mr. Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. Alright, so where were you standing when you witnessed all this? What do you mean? Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might have not continued their battle. I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden's stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me. So they didn't see her because they were she was behind them. But could that imply that she didn't even see who it was? Also, she said before that Maya was in the inner temple. Why would they be fighting outside of the inner temple in the garden? Maya should be in the inner temple. That's where she's supposed to be doing her training. Why the hell would she be in the garden? That doesn't make any sense. You go over here, buddy? Go. Go ahead. Why are you standing in the hallway? You keep going back and forth, you okay? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're just gonna stand in the hallway and ignore me? Alright. Well, you do what you want to do, I guess. I can't make you do stuff. That's how that goes. So it was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me what didn't... Hey, I just tried to help you, and you ignored me? You can't bark at me after you just ignored me. That doesn't make sense. Okay? It's not fair. It's not fair, Linda. You want to lay down? I don't have anything to give you, buddy. No, I already gave you enough stuff. I'm gonna give you nothing else. Come on. Up here. Go up there. Alright, we're good. Tell me, what did Miss Maya Fey do after she was struck? But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. What happened to the victim's staff then? I'm not sure. Because it wasn't in the garden. That shit ended up in the courtyard outside of the temple, the Hazakura temple. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated. That makes sense. That would explain why they need, or explain the need for the dagger. Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, so Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up. And then it sounds especially strange yet. What did the victim do when the victim was stole, or when the weapon was stole from her? Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. You're saying that Mystic, or that Maya Fey, turned the tables on the victim? Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger. Still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point is just silly. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. I think that what Iris is describing is correct, but it's not Maya who was fighting. It was Bikini who was fighting. That's who she's actually covering for. Because I guess Bikini knows her secret, that she's actually Talia. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. You were the one who started it. Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next? As the Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. You're absolutely certain that's what you saw? Yes, I'm almost certain. Almost. The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who. What did you just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely. You know what? We haven't seen Bikini's hair before either, so she never takes off the hood from what we can tell. No clue what she looks like underneath that. We know that Maya Fey was the inner temple that night. And that was the woman that was killed, or not the woman that was killed was Elise Donham. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet. Get the witness who please continue your story. Or will the witness please continue your story? Testimony. Yes, Your Honor. The two of them faced each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground. So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh? Yes. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. Where did the dagger go? I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see. According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck into the pine tree in the garden. Most likely it was flung towards the tree after the struggle. Was the most likely explanation, yes? Now, what if the blade with the blood on it actually has somebody else's blood aside from Elise? So you still know whose blood is on it. After being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away? Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while, and Mystic Maya stood there not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over. It seemed like a reasonable story at first. Oh, wrong person. But there one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone, that alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere. And we know where it is. It's that fourth statement, I think. Because the autopsy report doesn't match this. And I'll show you why. Time of death, 10 to 11 p.m. That doesn't matter, right? Cause, blood loss from a stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. Where the hell did she fall 10 feet after dying? Where? Unless it's when the body got moved and she threw it instead of walking to the courtyard carrying it. Which is very weird. Objection! Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Hmm? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. Well, what do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya face stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? That doesn't make sense because she was stabbed in the back. Also, she fell to the ground. Pretty far. Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim wouldn't have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Or would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound to her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. Ah! I'm screaming late just to be funny. What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Huh. It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and back. You get my drift? Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff to people fighting being mother and daughter. And now, she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee, but to pick to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Guy, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? There is light. She mentioned a stone lantern. What? There's light there. She can see. By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule that on nights when the acolyte is at the inner temple training, stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern because of the snow? Impossible. It hadn't been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Ghost and lightning. I mean, maybe it could have been lit up by the fire coming from the bridge too, unless the fire hadn't happened yet. Well, it couldn't have happened yet, actually, now that I think about it, because they had to get across the bridge. Yes, an eliminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would have been difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. So they're implying that Misty was there to kill someone else, but didn't recognize that it wasn't her target. It was Maya. But to say that Maya could defend herself like that, there's never happened throughout the entire series. Isn't that right, Trent? No! Order, order, order. Here, Your Honor, let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will be rekindled. Maybe it will rekindle the mind. The lantern from the inner temple garden was not lit the night of the crime. Why is the judge just sitting there with a look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. Something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Oh boy, so the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood. It says Maya upside down. What the? Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya. Oh, but Mystic Maya. Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have written down the stone lantern behind her. Here's the thing that doesn't make sense about that, though, because your testimony, my friend. She's over here talking about how they didn't recognize each other, didn't know each other. Why would she write Maya's name on there if she didn't recognize her? You can't say she wrote the name of her assailant. That wouldn't make sense, because she didn't know who she was fighting, according to the prosecutor and the witness. So why else would she write Maya there, unless somebody else did? But the blood that was draining out of her body. Doesn't make sense. It certainly looks that way.
Objection!
Hang on. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern. It's as clean as a whistle. Oh, he can't see it because he's got the red lighting thing. Everything's red to him. So he can't see the blood on the thing. That's crazy. Could it be... You can't see the blood written at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I can't see everything. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godard, anything further? Mr. Godard? Okay then, let's move on. God is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from the caffeine overdose. Because he knows that we can present this and it defeats his whole thought process. We can present the lantern. If they let us. I believe it has now been established that Miss Stoneham was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Why the fuck did we not stop it? Why did we not stop it? What the fuck? Why did we just let that happen just now? Okay. I guess, Phoenix. Sister Iris's cover-up. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to the Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future of the master of the current tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across the Dusty Bridge. And I used the snowmobile to carry it back to the Hoskura Temple and I used the Sasiko to alter the way the wound looked. So you moved the body. Yeah, so I was raised at Hoskura Temple. I owe a great deal of things to the Fey clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Donald was actually Misty Fey. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. Damn. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I intend to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but you were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. So you waited until everything was over before making a move? No, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so hopeless that I just sit back quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't that your job as a judge to mediate the argument? It was until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done. I thought it was my duty to protect the future of the master of the current tradition. I read it wrong twice, bro. So then you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey. Yes, of course I did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Damn, yeah. Odd, buddy. You didn't know that. Anyway, I was a very special person indeed. Or she was a very special person indeed. So I moved the body from the inner temple myself. Okay, we gotta go back. I gotta press that. Hi, Levi. You ready to lay back down again? You were up here a second ago and you jumped down and ran. Ready to go back on the bed? You barely keep your eyes open. Come on, let's go. 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 Up here. Go. 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 Go, Levi. On the bed. On the bed. You want to go on the bed? Go lay down here? You look tired, man. I got you. It's okay. Alright. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Elise to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You removed her body all by yourself? Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow, huh? She used the snowmobile. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. It's pretty amazing you could make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? Right! What stopped you from doing that? You didn't know whose body it was. It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way across Hazakura Temple. I thought it would still cast so much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to make the body as far away as possible. Huh. That makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? Nah. You should have just thrown it into the water, but alright, whatever. I guess I'll come back around next time? I really don't know. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to the Hazakura Temple and press. The snowmobile, I knew that would show up sooner or later. It's not admitted into evidence, though. Yes, I have the key. I used the snowmobile to travel to Hazakura Temple, from Hazakura Temple to Dusty Bridge. That is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Let's ask about the tracks. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes. I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was falling when I left Hazakura Temple. I see. Or I see. Snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? There's tracks in the snow from the snowmobile, but there's also tracks from people walking, too. Why is that? When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I like the statement Irish has made be added to the testimony. But does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Huh. This should be fun. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right. I'm certain of it. I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think, Snow, huh? What's going on here? If the snow had stopped by the time of the murder, it would mean there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Great Revelations. Huh? Well then, Mr. Trite? Well then, Mr. Trite, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us. Let's see, what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your index finger? I want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. I was just trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she do that? Or why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. Lightning struck the bridge at 10:45. The snow stopped at 10:50. She couldn't have got across the bridge because the bridge was on fire. That's what I had to look at. I was like, I don't know how she got across the bridge was on fire unless it happened after the murder. No. Because the snow stopped before the murder, and the bridge was on fire after the snow stopped. Or right before the snow stopped, I think. Let me save just in case, but I think I got that right. Based on what I just read. Okay, so present. And then we gotta find the weather data. Here we go. Here we go. Lock in. You claimed that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That's not, or that just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Just 5 minutes before the snow stopped. Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and caught on fire. What did you say? The bridge that was on fire? You don't mean to say you didn't know about that. It was because of the lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of the real defense attorney. No! Why is she trying so hard to pin it on someone? This is what Dolly would do. What is happening? My freaking laptop froze. Hold on. Hold on, I think I'm good. Wait a minute. Hi, Levi. Come on. Come on. Let me get your blanket. I'll be right back, y'all. Maybe if I get him nice and warm, he'll chill out. If that makes sense. Order, order, order. The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. True. I don't know why she tried that, bro. When it's even my patience has its limits. Any further lying, I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Objection!
Yeah, why does she keep lying? It's so weird. Again, I think it's just she's trying to cover for someone because she knows she's cooked. The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Me, how dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find the truth, isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. Disputed? God damn, bro. First, the body of Elise Donham was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini. The witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Donham's body. It makes a good point on both accounts. That's right. I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is still somewhat hazy. You have stood at the witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of the night is hazy? It is only human terror. If you're so perfect, Trite, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge was already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? You know what I think? I think Bikini... No. I think Iris was actually fighting Maya. Iris was fighting Maya, and Bikini was killing Elise. That's what I think. I think that's what happened. Or maybe Iris I don't know, man. I'm trying, but I don't know. I was gonna say that one twin did one thing and the other twin did the other thing. But like, I guess Iris was here at the temple because Bikini definitely saw her here, but Dahlia was at the courtyard killing Elise, so the body never moved across. That's why they don't have the blood on the dagger yet. So perhaps the blood is actually Maya's, and she might actually be dead, which would really suck. Well, actually, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burned out bridge. But unless they can someone demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. But the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Ah. Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be your final testimony? Fuck no. She got more to go. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. But I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Maybe the snow was still falling, or it stopped. Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross the burning ridge? I mean, for all we know, Iris wasn't stuck over there, so she had to have got across somehow. We know that. And Elise's body wasn't over there, so she had to get across somehow. I mean, maybe the bridge wasn't completely engulfed in flames yet when they crossed. So is it... So it is... So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and no one of the suspension wires even snapped. Or one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. we got the Dusky Bridge photo now. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And I will be accused of murder. Trite. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it one more time. It is only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. All right, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. It's the last one, huh? Okay. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. Yes, but the snow had already stopped when the incident took place. I couldn't have crossed the bridge naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said, the body did make it across somehow. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. But you seemed to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped. I'm terribly sorry, I was wrong. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law. Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today? Huh? Well, naturally it was, you see, it's not that easy to remember, is it? But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, right? What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on assessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Shows evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Are you saying there was a way to cross the burning bridge? Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Anyone actually witness such a thing? Huh. If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. I came all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. How do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all of my evidence and see where that takes me. You gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. Well, based on what they said in this last statement, I'm thinking of that picture that Larry had. But I don't even know why the fuck that would work. But it wouldn't hurt to try, because I literally have nothing else I can think of that would work here. So, I mean, there's gotta be a reason we have it, right? Oh shit. No way. No, why you look at my cover, bro? Why you look at my cover, Levi? Come on. I know you're cold because I'm cold. Let's go. There you go, buddy. There you go. There you go, fat man. Alright. A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Huh. You think it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible is your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous. Who is it? Who is this witness? I can't chicken out here. I've got to keep I gotta keep on the attack and go, go, go. Miss Elise Donham's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Larice Donham. Brilliant, highly gifted apprentice. Remember what he said in this testimony. That night he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen the sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today is not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Oh, the judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Ha. Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old. Does this sketch prove anything? I think it's a nice drawing. Y'all are all assholes, bro. Yes. I'm pretty sure it does. And I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, then why not start with the sketch? Upside down? Oh, true. True. You know, I was wondering that too when I saw it, but I never said anything. I'm dead ass. I was thinking about this. Look at the drawing. Because the bridge doesn't have those cables going up and up diagonally. It doesn't have those there. They're underneath. I was thinking about that too. But I didn't understand. I was just like, well, maybe he just drew it wrong. I didn't think much of it because, you know, of the drawing, but it actually is an important detail. Flying under the bridge, huh? Alright, then let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is the sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. This sketch drawn by Larice Donham is... It's not exactly what happened. He just told me. It's definitely evidence of something. A complete contradiction? I don't know, bro. Something is obviously funny about the sketch. I know our cricket, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Larice Donham stated it over and over. Oh! He drew it upside down because he was upside down. He was laying on his back looking. That's why in his perspective it was upside down. That the sketch was exactly what he saw. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. It contradicts reality. Huh. This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger pointing thing again. Okay, Trite, what exactly contradicts this reality? This. The wires. Like I was saying. So I'm pretty sure these are the wires that go underneath, right? And one of them snapped. One of them had snapped, by the way. So there shouldn't even be two of them. Unless there was three of them and one snapped. I don't know how that worked. I don't know what they said earlier. I don't know if they ever said how many there were. Is this wire connected to the bridge? Wire? Huh. Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out the sketch contradicts reality. We have a picture of the bridge somewhere? Well, don't present. Hold up. That's not it. Buddy, I don't know what they want here. Do we have a Dusky Bridge photo? Oh, we do. It's the last thing we got. Yeah, here we go. Okay. That's a photo of the Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes, now compare the sketch to the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires, but on the actual dusty bridge, jumping Josephat, the wires are below the guard wires. Order, order. The sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it like that the artist just saw it wrong? Or perhaps he drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. With someone like Larice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember that what Larice was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. But then lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now, ponder what sort of position Larry must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why you remember the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Ugh. No way. Larry's gonna witness the event while he was lying on his back face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. So then this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view the Larry's Dono sketch is like this. This is how it should look, or should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge, it was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Ridiculous. Order, order, order. Of all the things to say, a pendulum? Yeah. I don't know why he's so shocked. One of the wires was missing, so maybe they swung across, which is fucking insane, by the way. But Phoenix did try to run across it, so... The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body was to be found in the temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. He used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side, and a pendulum was the only way it could be done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get that long, you need to plan ahead. Lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. But it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then they didn't have to get the rope already. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. I'm guessing I'm going to present something, so I'm going to have to go ahead and save. What makes you think the criminal had a rope on hand to create the pendulum? The fuck? Would it be the bridge photo again because they used suspension wires? And the meaning of this? If you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Oh shit, we see it, yeah. This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the rope around Lee Stoneman's body. because there was simply no other way to move the body. Huh. That's what I need to do. All these voice changes. Mr. Godard. It seems that Mr. Godard is more focused on this coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of the rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Possible or impossible, that's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question that would... Did that really happen, Trite? I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Well, what actually helps prove that is the crystal sphere, because that's next to the edge by the Dusky Bridge. So if she did get swung across as said, then the spear would probably still be on her. Just like the staff. Just to get it across. That's probably why it came loose. Crystal spear found in the off-cropping area, Dusky Bridge, yep, has blood on it. Came from the victim's staff. Yeah. This makes perfect sense. And I can't save, so I have to do it. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. So it's 4 wires. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple. So then that was the spot where the criminal... Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank and at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. What makes you think something like that? Because I have evidence that suggests her body was dropped from a distance. Oh yeah, true. That explains the bruising. What kind of evidence? The autopsy. Take a look at this autopsy report. It says that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? This was likely the height difference between the two sides. The body's overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. Yes, the blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Elise Donham's staff. Even more important is the place where the crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. Crystal was found, precisely, Your Honor, in the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way to body, where the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright? I thought this cold coffee might help you cool down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. We forgot about one thing. Oh? What would that be? The aroma. Huh? Yeah, what are you talking about, bro? A colorless, reliable accomplice is a deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side, like you say, Then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trite? Mr. Godard is correct. That can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, do you know, or you know what you must do? Yes, Your Honor. The body can't have made it to Hatsukura Temple without an accomplice. Very well, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body at Hatsukura Temple side? Okay. So I was thinking that Dahlia is still present, but if Dahlia is actually dead like they say, maybe Dahlia took over Maya's body. That's why. Hold on. So Dahlia took over. Let's say Dahlia took over Maya's body, right? Because she went to the channeling area to channel something, to practice channeling. So they tricked her into channeling Dahlia. She doesn't know who Dahlia is. Dahlia takes over her body and tries to kill Elise. Send the body over the bridge to Iris. Because Iris wasn't stuck on the other side. So Dahlia must have taken over Maya's body. That was the other theory. I still feel like Bikini's involved, but I guess I'm wrong. We can't present Dahlia because we haven't proven that Dahlia's alive. So we have to say it's Iris. That's crazy though. I swear it's Bikini. And I can't say it. It'll only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? But I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transfer the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the one who could have managed it. Yeah, because of snowmobile, true. Trite. You even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hatsukura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. So how did she get across? Actually, yeah, literally. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on the night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnout bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known. No, I have no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum. But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing, unless you're not really Iris to begin with. Ooh! What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying that this witness isn't Iris of Hatsukura Temple? Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is... There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse because she's the only one who has access to the snowmobile. But the one who was at the end of the temple had to be Dahlia. Now I get it. I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. Why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. Remember that standing there in the witness stand? Or Dahlia was waiting on the other side, and Iris is the one who got channeled because Pearl couldn't channel Dahlia. So Dahlia's not dead, Iris is. So my theory is actually right. Iris is the one who's actually dead. I never thought I would have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. The name brings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. Huh. Just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Yes, I remember now. This case 5 years ago. Hey, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's not to be in your presence. Your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. But according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What? Order, order, order. Well, wait a minute. How can you... My sister, she's already dead. Well, what kind of... You of all people should already understand, after all, the blood of the master of current channeling technique flows within that body. The current channeling technique? Oh, the current channeling technique? Now, where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. Ah. So Dahlia is inside of Iris's body right now. I thought she might have dyed her hair. What an exciting story. Exciting, but not quite possible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone else? On the night of the murder at the temple where her twin sister Iris was. Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. I'm supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens? Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions. So what's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. At night, there were 2 irises at Halsgura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m., however, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. The Iris who gave me the hood in the main hall was also the real Iris, meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely, one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling of Spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's pretty clear. The witness currently standing in this witness stand is the real Iris. What? What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. Even meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled, would have been stranded on the inner temple due to the lightning strike. Yep. She couldn't ever got across. So this would have to be Iris right here. Unless Iris is dead and she took over Maya's body, like I was saying. That's right. Naturally, that would mean the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose I can't deny that. Ooh, thank goodness. Looks like he's finally convinced. But something still seems off, way off. I'm still not convinced that Iris here is the same one from the other night. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places. Switched places. To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Yeah, Iris is dead. This is Dahlia. Iris took over Maya's body. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested in the Hazakura Temple, has there been any chance for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? I mean, there had to have been one. Literally, there has to have been one. There has to be. Unless it's remember when Edgeworth had the earthquake shit, and he lost track of Dahlia? Or lost track of Iris? That could have been it. Let me see what options they give me. Your Honor? I think there might have been one chance. Oh? Explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris' whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? Well, what I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move around freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that? I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to, but it wasn't your fault. Whereas who gave Iris a chance to freely move about was. So it has to be Edgeworth then. Yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor. There's a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? Earthquake! Oh my goodness, the inner temple. This kind of tremor of might. How could I have? She fled, she escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, right? Now see here, no judge in their right mind would consider this idea of spirit channeling it. Be quiet. There she is. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. That voice. Guess I have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask her her name and profession. It's one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne. In my current profession, permanently retired. Huh. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's nothing you can do to punish me. What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. Never thought we'd meet again. Never thought we'd meet like this. This time I'll end it. For her and for myself. Ooh. Ooh. So Iris can't be punished because Dahlia took over her body? Is that where they're going to go with this? There's a part 2 to this trial. And we'll deal with that tomorrow. Thanks for watching.